welcome to New Orleans. I know
Thank you.
you've been here a few times before, or at least once.
Once, actually.
I saw you on that date. It was great.
Okay.
They say it's kind of a European city. What do you think about that?
Yeah, there's the French Quarter, and there's a lot of history here.
Mm-hmm.
I know it was French back in the days, and then Napoleon sold it to the U.S.
Mm-hmm.
So. Or to the Confederation or something like that, I don't know,
Mm-hmm.
or to the Union States. So yeah, there's a French history here, and I don't know if it makes me proud or I think I don't care. But it's
maybe
it's
not this area. But.
Yeah, but it's a beautiful place, and the weather is so unique, so particular. The atmosphere is wet and
Mm-hmm.
heavy, and I don't know. It's really nice. I have a good impression of New Orleans.
That's good. Don't go outside here and you'll lose it. So.
Oh, really?
Anyway, you released your latest album, Terra Incognita, last year, but you're re-releasing it. You already did in Europe. It has 3 new tracks on it, and you're releasing it here in October.
Actually, when you release an album, an old album, it's always better to add some bonuses, and it's a label thing. It's something that we do because otherwise people can just get the songs on the internet, and or it's a little plus, you know, for the fans to buy the CD actually. But we work on that, you know. It's not just something for marketing only. It's also we're happy to, you know, present those songs, and they're all songs from this album, so it makes sense.
Mm-hmm. Well, you've been touring so much. Well, you're on tour with Metallica right now, which I know you like Metallica a lot.
Yes, Metallica is a part of our structure as human beings. You know, it's really something deep, because we were not only inspired musically, but it would help us every day. You know, when we go to school or whatever. It's Metallica means a lot. You know, when we were kids, it would give us strength to go on in our lives in general. So it's just amazing to be on tour with them. That it has been a dream for years and years when we started the band. So now it's a dream come true for real. You know.
They were big in France.
They're huge all over the world. They're the biggest metal band, I would say.
Wow. Well, let me see what's I gonna say. You're doing so many shows that are off dates that Metallica and Lamb of God are doing. Why did you decide to do these shows?
Because we cannot afford spending days doing nothing. It's as simple as that. That's the first point. It's a reality, and because we have to pay for a bus for the whole crew, and we don't want to send the bus back and then take it back 3 days after, so we have to stay in the bus. So that's the first point, and the second point is we need to play some headline shows in the States still, because we have to meet our own audience, and we have to build up, you know, something here. So it's a good thing. Metallica, they can't afford going back home for 3 days and then going back on tour, because they're comfortable with, you know, technically and money-wise and everything. It's easier for them, and they're older too, so they need to rest more. But we can go and play every day for 5 weeks, so it's okay. We have a couple of days off, like 3 or 4.
Well, you do so much touring, and you've been on tour for a while. What are you gonna do after this tour ends?
We have a couple of gigs in France, like 4 gigs in France, and then we're gonna take some time off, little vacations that we deserve, I think, because we toured for 5 years constantly, intensively. It was really exhausting, tiring, and challenging too. You know, being in a bus, like 12 people all together all the time, like not like a family. It's more than that. You know, it's like being stuck in a box. I don't know, it's crazy. And so we need to take some distance from the band and think about something else, you know, like have a normal life, regular life for a couple of months, and then we'll compose the next album, I think.
Okay. Well, because of all this touring you've done, you've played with some great acts already, like Metallica, you're with right now, Children of Bottom, and Behemoth, which is when I saw you not a few years ago, but who's been your favorite to tour with?
We also toured with Lamb of God and Machine Head. That was probably the best tour we did in the States because it was so big. It was like 45 gigs in the States with Lamb of God headlining, and there were the crowd was so big every night. It was really challenging for us to catch the attention of the people, and it was only our second tour, and it's the tour that made us more famous in the States, definitely. And it was on the album From Mars to Sirius, and that, I don't know, it's the one that inspired me the most, and we learned a lot from that experience.
Who would you like to tour with in the future?
Tool, I love Tool, and Meshuggah. I love these guys. Mastodon are great, we know them. We hang out with them sometimes. For example, Bill from Mastodon was there in Atlanta yesterday. We got to talk to him, and we were talking about the fact that it would be pretty cool to tour together. And sometimes we just chat on the internet, and we feel close to these guys. You know, they have a unique approach of music, and it's at the same time old school and at the same time pretty new, like the vibe. So yeah, this three bands.
I think Mastodon's on tour with Death Clock right now.
Really? Okay.
I believe they are. It's hard to catch the attention of the people in really big arenas. But you're playing a really small place tonight. What's your favorite to play? The big arenas or the small venues?
It depends. Playing before Metallica is probably the most challenging thing we ever done. I mean, it's opening for a band like that is really, really hard because people want to see Metallica. They pay a certain price to see the show, and they want the big show, you know, the big lights and the big sound. And when you open for them, it's like people just get in and they take their seat and they pay attention barely to what you do, and it's hard to catch them but it's when it's challenging like that, we like it because we have everything to prove, you know, except like a couple of them know the band already, but it's just only a few of them. And when we play a headline show in a small club, it's only the die-hard fans that come to the show, and they know the lyrics, they know the songs, they know the name of the albums, and they're so into it. And at the same time, they expect something from you because they come to see you and not the opener, and so it's more pressure. But it's like I like it. It's two different things. I couldn't tell which one I prefer. It's just different.
Me and Dominic went to Metallica, and I know just what you're talking about because Down played before Metallica, and just nobody really cared. Nobody moved or did anything, and I was astonished because Down, they play in world festivals and people scream for them, but they weren't doing anything that night. And Metallica was a huge show. It was, and they dropped beach balls at the end and everything.
Still do it,
All right. Is there anything else you would like to say?
I am so glad to be here today in New Orleans. The weather is incredible. The clouds are so beautiful. I took a lot of pictures today of the clouds. What can I say? I'm just stoked, you know, to do what I want to do in my life and to play music and to be here with you guys, Spider-Man. It's really awesome.
Well, thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.